Way back in 2018, Sony put out Into the Spider-Verse. It looked neat, it looked interesting, the trailer was cool, it had some cool music that went to it, and hey, look, it's Miles. Cut to December 2018 when it came out, didn't get the box office recognition that it deserved, but the people that saw it loved it. Critics loved it. Oscars gave it the best animated feature. And as time went on, it got the respect and the love that it deserved. And now, here we are with Across the Spider-Verse. Of course, when you have something like Into the Spider-Verse and then you say, hey, we're doing a sequel, much like with The Incredibles, that, you know, when you have a little bit of time in between movies, there's a lot that you have to live up to. Because, I mean, can lightning strike twice in the same place? Or are you going to try to bottle something equally as impressive as lightning itself? Fortunately, here, we have something much more impressive than lightning. Don't get me wrong, Into the Spider-Verse is an amazing movie, but this one is spectacular.
Oh.
Mrs. Taco sat this one out. Of course, I did not sit this one out. Caught it in IMAX. Get this out of the way right now. No expanded formats or anything like that. This is just IMAX with the sound system and the comfortable chairs and the great big old screen. And I will say it now. 100% worth it. There was a minor issue, and it seems to kind of be widespread. There seems to be a sound mix issue, so some of the dialogue is a little lower than some of the music, so it can be a little difficult. So I would recommend IMAX really to kind of
late in the game?
Yeah. We'll talk about it visually first. You know, Across the Spider-Verse, that title, it has a lot of connotations to it. There's a lot of expectations. Kind of like Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, when in reality it was Doctor Strange and the weird dude next door. That was really about it. We went into one multiverse, we had a flash through multiple multiverses, and we didn't really see much. The title was misleading. Now here though, Across the Spider-Verse, the title is not misleading. Not only is the title not misleading, but it actually undersells exactly what that means. Because this is next level for Spider-Man. This is a big deal. This is... I wish I could go into more spoilers, and granted, yeah, I probably could,
do it.
But we're not going to, because this is one of those movies that is better left to experience everything fresh and everything for the first time. Because when I tell you the crowd of people that I had people that were clapping, they were cheering, and even at the end of the movie, people were getting up out of their seat, jumping up and down, and going ham.
You guys are wild.
It's a beautiful movie, though. We have multiple art styles. It starts out off at the very beginning, carries all the way through. It doesn't slouch at any point. And they blend the different Spider-Men, their different art styles, their different worlds and everything like that so beautifully and so well together. And it's great, too, because we'll have different art styles for each of the Spider-Men interacting together. Without missing a beat, without any of the animators getting lazy. I can only imagine the kind of crunch and the kind of just effort and blood, sweat, and tears that went into this. But I mean, this has to be best animated feature at the Oscars in 2024. The sound, it had a couple minor issues there, but the soundtrack though, because the first soundtrack for the first Spider-Verse movie was fantastic. It was curated very well. It was just beautifully put together. And this one here, again, is no slouch. You're going to get that credit song stuck in your head. I promise you will.
And guys, just also to go back, I didn't even see the first one either.
Yeah,
so
I mean, you know.
I was just not interested. I mean, it looked really visually pleasing, but that's not enough for me to sit down and watch it.
That's a shame, see, because, you know, in the world of animated movies, every studio has an animated component to it. You know, you got Disney and Universal and everything like that. It's refreshing when we can get an animated movie that treats its characters like actual people. You know, I mean, this time around, of course, we've got Miles and his family back. We have his relationship and his friendship with Gwen. And then, of course, we have Miles with his internal struggle. And I have to say, this is probably one of the best on-screen families that we've seen in an animated movie. I would say, it personally, for me, it eclipses even what we saw in something like The Incredibles. I mean,
Twilight.
The dynamic between the three of them, between Miles, his mom, and his dad, I mean, he's a teenager, and you feel that. You feel the struggle of the parents trying to take their own life experiences and then doing better. Make sure that their kid doesn't turn into them, but then by doing so, they're pushing them away. And there's a conversational part that happens between Spider-Man and his dad, but of course his dad doesn't know that he's Spider-Man, and it's very interesting. And there's a couple of solid one-liners that come into play there. But when you're sitting there and you're listening to it, you're like, wow, this is like a genuine conversation. This is something that some like father would tell a work buddy, that he can't get the emotions and everything like that together to tell his son. And it's such a beautiful scene, and it's so well thought out, and the dialogue, it all feels real, the people feel real. I mean, they took it to the next level. They said, you know what, we're not going to rest on our laurels from the first one. So I mean, you got the animation, you have the writing, the voice acting is next level. Everybody from Shameik Moore as Miles, to Jake Johnson as Peter, to even Oscar Isaac as Spider-Man 2099, as Miguel. I mean, he's great. And then
it's exciting.
I will say probably the biggest step up that we see here would be Shameik Moore as Miles and Haley Steinfeld as Gwen. The two of them, I mean, just there's a conversation that they have on a roof, and it's wonderful. So, of course, as is the case with any superhero movie, with any Spider-Man movie, we are here for the action. They've teased a little bit of it, a little bit of that Spider-Verse, Spider-Man on Spider-Man action, everything like that we have going on here. The trailers have undersold it. They've undersold it beautifully. This is a movie much like, I'll make the comparison, I'll do it, much like John Wick.
Breaking Time.
No. Much like John Wick, where the action is influenced by the story, and it influences the story. The character decisions move the action, and it's intense. You feel it, especially in IMAX, when you've got that big old bass that's shaking your chair and everything like that. I mean, you can feel the emotions of these characters as they're hunting each other down, as they're trying to stop each other, as they're trying to keep pushing to the next level. I mean, the action here is crazy. And again, we have clashes of art styles that mesh together, and it's almost like you have comic panels that are coming off the screen. Again, these animators, they need to win Best Animated Feature because their work cannot go unnoticed. Now, this is one of the most visually impressive movies I have ever seen. Fortunately for me, I live near an AMC, which means, of course, you have IMAX, but you also have the opportunity, if you see it opening weekend, to get your very own super-size Across the Spider-Verse poster.
Let's see this.
And this is the first time you're seeing it.
Yes.
Okay. And for all the folks out there, all right, let's go ahead.
You can't be nosy.
How do we do this? Because this one's big. Let me get back. Is this it? What do you mean? Is this it?
No, I said.
Well, bam.
Oh.
Look at the beauty on that.
Wow.
Look at that.
That actually looks really good.
That is a hell of a poster. Is it coming across? Can you guys see it? I might do a separate little short on this just to kind of get everything in frame. No, this is a stunning poster.
No, yeah, they popped off with that.
Of course, you had some other merch that was on sale as well. Mrs. Taco wouldn't have approved if I would have brought home a Miles or a Gwen. That's why I kept them in the trunk. Across the Spider-Verse is finally available for you to just sink your teeth into, sit back, enjoy, just let it flow over you, the emotions, the music, all of it. If you had a chance to check it out, let me know down in the comments below whether it was IMAX or Dolby. If you had the same sound issues, let us know. If you're like Mrs. Taco and you don't care about this movie,
I really don't.
I can't help you. You are unhelpable. And until next time, guys, this has been VHS Taco signing off. And you can be well sure that we will be back in March when Beyond the Spider-Verse comes out. Adios.
Bye.